Wii Party released on the Nintendo Wii on July 8, 2010, nearly 15 years ago. It was a great party game filled with fun mini-games and game modes that you could play with friends and family. In this video, I'll be looking back on Wii Party by explaining all the game modes included in it and potentially share my thoughts. I'll be splitting this video into two parts to highlight all the modes more thoroughly and because there's a lot of content in this game to talk about. If you like this video, then be sure to like and subscribe, and let's get started. The main menu is split into three primary sections. Party games, which are the main long play board games. Pair games, which are two-player based modes that you could work together or against a friend in. And House Party, which included short games meant for 2 to 4 human players. In this part, I'll only be talking about the party games. Starting with the most notable mode from this game, we have Board Game Island. In Board Game Island, you and 3 other players must travel around an island to get to the top while facing obstacles and challenges along the way. The game begins with a random minigame which shall be played at the start of every new round. Once you reach the home stretch of the game, the player in last place will be able to choose the minigame. After the minigame is finished, players will get an extra die to roll along with the standard 1 through 6 die. First place nets you a golden die with the options of 1 through 6. Second place nets you a silver die with the options of 1 through 3. Third place nets you a bronze die with the options of 1 through 2. And fourth place gets nothing because they're a loser. The order of which you roll the dice will also be determined by minigame placement, which can be stressful at the final challenge. Once you roll the dice, you'll move the number of spaces you got. If a player rolling 2 dice gets matching numbers, they'll get an opportunity to roll a third die to add on to their roll. There are 11 types of spaces unless you count each of the spaces that are identical to others. Landing on a blank space does nothing and ends your turn. Landing on a move forward space moves you forward however many spaces listed. Landing on a -4 space sets you back 4 spaces. Landing on a tornado space has you roll dice to determine who's going to get tornadoed back a few spaces. Landing on a UFO space will force you to roll a die and swap places with whoever's face you land on. Landing on a versus minigame space will have you dueling your opponent for the chance to move spaces. The 1v3 variant of the space either results in the solo player moving forward 10 spaces for a win, or having them move no spaces for a loss. The 1v1 variant has the player who landed on the space move forward 7 spaces and the opponent back 7 spaces for a win, or having nobody move any spaces for a loss. Landing on a dinosaur space results you in rolling a die for a 50-50 shot at a good or bad fate. If you roll blue, a pterodactyl will swoop you forward 10 spaces. If you roll red, a T-Rex will chase you 4 or 9 spaces backwards. Landing on a blue statue space means the Wii Party gods have blessed you and a blue statue throws you ahead either 16 or 18 spaces, which is an insane gain. Landing on a red statue space means that you just got royally screwed and have the opposite gain of the blue statue space by sending you back 18 spaces. Landing on a volcano space results in the whole island erupting and getting covered with -4 spaces. Every space that isn't blank will be affected by this punishment. If you land on a -4 space, rocks will bombard you and send your Mii flying backwards. The best part is that you can land on as many -4 spaces in a row. After 3 players roll during the madness, the board will return to normal. The final space you can land on is a purple space with a skull on it. Landing on this space results in you getting sucked into a black hole and transported inside the volcano. Before I move on, I want to mention that any player that is actively trapped in the volcano is immune to punishments and possible dueling. There are several challenges that you must face over the course of the game. The first challenge is a rope swing, which technically isn't a challenge because you have a 100% chance of passing it, but it says challenge time, so yeah, it is. You roll a die and swing that many spaces forward, essentially giving you an extra roll. The second challenge is the dragon wall. The player attempting this challenge must roll a 4 or higher to beat the dragon and explode the wall. If you roll a 3 or lower, the dragon will burn your ass and you must try again next turn. The third challenge is crates or barrels. This is a 50-50 shot at making it through. You must choose a path, either crates or barrels. If you choose correctly, nothing happens and your remaining spaces you rolled are safe. If you choose incorrectly, you'll fall into the water and lose your remaining spaces you rolled. The fourth challenge is a rock wall. If you roll a 3 or higher, you live and can keep on moving. If you roll a 2 or lower, you fall into the pit and die by entering the volcano. The fifth challenge involves you rolling at least the number on the screen or higher to pass. If you roll high enough, you'll break the dragon and pass. If you roll lower, a giant spike ball will be unleashed and you must run for your life while it rolls down the hill and kills everyone that fell into the pit. The sixth and final challenge involves you rolling dice to get higher than a 6. If you fail to meet the requirement, you cannot win right now and must wait for another turn to try again. If you fail the first time, you are allowed to use the extra dice you won in minigames to increase your odds of getting a 6 for the next turn. If you get a 6 or above, you win the game and get all the treasure at the top of the mountain. Globetrot. In Globetrot, you are traveling across the globe to take souvenir photos with food, items, landmarks, and more. The game begins with all 4 players at the starting location, which depends on which region of the game you own. If you have a North American copy of the game, you start in the US. If you have a European copy of the game, you start in Germany. If you have a Japanese copy of the game, you'll start in Japan. and if you have a Korean copy of the game, you start in South Korea. You'll never see hotspots for your copy of the game because it's the starting space. The hotspots will be revealed and shown off as a part of either the taste tour, sightseeing, or shopping trip. There will always be 3 hotspots to travel to at the beginning of a tour and all cost 10 coins to take a picture. The goal of the game is to have the most souvenir photos by the end of the game. You'll first play a mini game for coins and which order you'll move on the board. When it's your turn, pick a card to move on the board with. There are 7 types of cards to move with. First are the basic cards that are move 1, move 2, and move 3 spaces. Every other card type can be bought by landing on a shop icon and will always be displayed face up when picking a card. A train card acts just like a normal card and allows you to move 4, 5, or 6 spaces. A taxi card allows you to move your choice of 1, 2, or 3 spaces along any path. A helicopter card allows you to move 8 spaces along any path. An airplane card allows you to instantly travel to any airport without having to land on an airport space. A hot air balloon card lets you spin a roulette wheel numbered 3 through 8, and whichever number it lands on, you move that number of spaces. A Super Me card is often offered to players that are struggling in the game and is the most powerful card in the game. This card takes you directly to a hotspot without having to travel across the board and is the most expensive vehicle card at 20 coins. After picking a card, you'll be suggested the closest hotspots and the fastest path to get to them. There are 12 locations to visit, which are Australia, Brazil, Canada, Egypt, Germany, Japan, India, Madagascar, Mexico, Morocco, Singapore, and the United States. On your way to a hotspot, you'll land on one of 9 spaces. Landing on a shop space grants you the ability to buy a special card that will make it easier to travel. Landing on an airport space allows you to travel across the globe by plane to another airport or stay there and do nothing. Landing on a port space allows you to travel across the globe by ship and works like the airport space. Landing on a 1v3 space forces a 1v3 minigame to be played and grants coins to the winning side. Landing on the odd job space lets you spin a wheel to win 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, or 10 coins. Landing on a train space nets you a train card for free. Landing on the start space nets you a free vehicle card. Landing on a surprise space allows you to pick one of 3 cards and a special event occurs. There are 12 special events that occur. Picking the UFO card forces you to spin a wheel and swap places on the globe with whoever you land on. Picking the UFO Armada card forces everyone to swap places with each other. Picking a thief card forces a random player to lose all their vehicle cards. Picking the card grabber space allows you to steal a card from a random player. Picking a coin collect card allows you to take 5 coins from a random player. Picking a coin giveaway card lets you take 10 coins from a random player. Picking the gift time card makes you spin a wheel 1 through 6 and take that amount of money from everybody else. Picking a coin split card splits all coins evenly between all players. Picking a balloon blast card forces a random player to give up all their cards and change them to all hot air balloon cards. Picking a tornado card blows a random player to a random space on the map. Picking a stomachache card makes a random player miss a turn. Picking a rendezvous card forces everyone to gather at a random player space. The last space type you can land on is the hotspot space, which allows you to buy a souvenir photo for 10 coins. After 10 rounds of this, the game will move into overtime for an additional 10 rounds, but the game instantly ends when the first hotspot is collected in this round, meaning it probably won't last 10 rounds. If you collect the final hotspot of the game, you'll get an additional souvenir photo for free. Whoever has the most coins and souvenir photos at the end of the game wins. Swap meet. In Swap Meet, you and 3 opponents are at this park and each have a circle with your face on it. To start, you'll receive 6 Miis with either a blue, red, green, yellow, purple, or platinum shirt, each with a unique pattern. The goal of the game is to get 2 rows of 3 Miis with the same colored shirts on for each row to receive points. At the beginning of each round, 4 Miis will pop up in the center with marked shirts on, 2 of which are wearing question mark shirts, which are revealed after picking them. After seeing the Miis, you'll play a minigame to determine which order you pick the Miis in. Once it's your turn to pick, you'll click on a Mii and either add it to your team by replacing a Mii or discarding it with the orange circle at the bottom of the screen. There are 3 kinds of special Miis that are more than just colors. A clear Mii has a loading icon on their shirt and clears a row of 3, then brings in a new row. A trade Mii has a reuse icon on their shirt and allows you to steal a Mii from another player, replacing the stolen Mii with a white t-shirt Mii, which does nothing. A row of these Miis don't count as an actual row, so you can't cheat the system by making it worth something. A wild Mii allows you to pick the Mii's shirt color and add it to your row. After someone makes a row of 2x3 colors, that player will receive points. But every player can get additional points by having things like a row of males, a row of females, a row matching their color, a platinum row, 1 to go, etc. Whoever has the most points at the end of the game wins. I'm not even gonna lie, I still don't understand how to play even though I just explained it, so I'm sorry if that didn't make any sense to you. Spin-off. In Spin-off, you are in Vegas and participate in this flashy wheel-style game show. Your goal is to spin the wheel and win the most amount of medals by the end of the game. The game starts with each player receiving 500 medals along with the giant bank that the wheel sits below. Players take turns spinning the wheel in player number order as the rounds progress. When it's your turn to spin, hold the A button and swing the Wii remote in either direction to spin. The wheel will spin faster and farther or slower and closer depending on the way you throw it. There are 22 segments on the wheel and 6 types of outcomes. A blue tile means you'll win medals directly from the bank, often 300. A red tile means you'll lose medals, either 300 or half. Any medals you lose are deposited straight into the bank. A yellow tile means that the number of medals will be deposited into the bank. If there is a multiplier on this tile, the bank will either be doubled or tripled. A dark green tile means a battle for all the bank's medals. Landing on the 4-player variant makes a 4-player minigame happen, and landing on a 1v3 variant makes a 1v3 minigame happen. If you win the minigame, you get to rub it in everyone else's face by dancing and winning all the medals in the bank. If 2 or 3 players win a 4-player battle, they'll split the medals in the bank and celebrate together. If all 4 players tie, then nothing will happen and all the medals in the bank will remain. After the minigame is over and the celebration ends, either 500 or 1000 medals will be added back to the bank to continue the game. A lime green tile represents a 1v1 minigame and forces you to duel an opponent to win half their medals. If you win this minigame, you'll steal half your opponent's medals. If your opponent wins, nothing happens and you both keep your medals. Which I think is kind of stupid because there's no benefit for the opponent being dragged into the duel. A rainbow tile represents a lucky chance space. If you land on this space, you basically hit the jackpot and get to spin for a chance to receive all, half, or none of the bank's medals. If you land on win, you'll receive all medals in the bank and the bank resets. If you land on half, you'll get half the bank's medals and your turn is over. If you land on an X, you just wasted this opportunity and your me wallows in shame. Note that this space and the 1v1 space only makes an appearance in the later half of the game. If you reach 99,999 medals before landing on a dark green tile, a minigame will instantly begin and all players will battle for the prize in a 4-player minigame. On the 5th and 8th round, the wheel will be switched up and the tiles that I mentioned earlier will be added onto the wheel. After 10 rounds of spinning, the game will head into overtime for another 10 rounds. In overtime, there are also a lot more penalty spaces that result in you losing medals. Overtime ends when either someone spins a dark green minigame tile or 10 rounds have passed without landing on one. After the game is finished, whoever has the most medals wins and celebrates their victory. Bingo. Bingo should be self-explanatory because it's basically just the same as actual bingo but slightly tweaked. In this game, 4 players are in this room with a huge bingo machine in the middle. To start the game, you pick a card with 16 Mii faces on it. Once a round begins, the machine will start to draw balls with faces on them. If you have the Mii whose face was drawn from the machine, you can mark it down to gain a spot on your card. If a minigame ball is drawn, everyone will face off for the chance to pick any Mii on their card and take that space. If other players have the Mii on your card on their card, they will also get the space. If you have 1 space left to go, the game will highlight which Mii or Miis can win you the game, basically warning the other players. If you get a vertical, horizontal, or diagonal line of 4 Miis, you win the game. If multiple players get bingo at the same time, they'll also win alongside you. In part 2, I'll be talking about the rest of the game modes, so stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.